Okay, let's unpack this. We've pulled together, a whole stack of sources, articles, industry reports, you name it, and they all seem to treat a pop star's birthday not as, a personal day off.
But as a corporate event.
Exactly. A planned, critical pivot point in one of the biggest careers in modern music. And the focus here isn't just December 13th. The sources consistently show this window from maybe December 11th through the 13th is this highly strategic launch and closure window.
And what's so fascinating is understanding the function of this period. We're calling it the December nexus. It's this meticulously managed annual inflection point. She uses it for these huge strategic maneuvers.
Right, like launching a project or putting a final bow on an old one.
Precisely. And the timing maximizes impact right when the year-end news cycle is usually slowing down, so her content just dominates.
And we're using 2 huge years to really dissect this. 2020, which was this massive surprise era launch, and then 2025, which just recently was this definitive, highly managed era closure.
So for you, the listener, the mission here is to really get the disciplined synchronization of it all. Closing the book on the Eras Tour professionally, right as she starts a new personal year.
And her 36th birthday really was the ultimate narrative zenith for all these storylines coming together.
It's the ultimate case study in long-term strategic planning. Right. When you look at 2025, the nexus wasn't just the day she turned 36. It was the final destination, the apex of a completely transformative year, both for her and her career.
Absolutely. The whole year was a build-up to that. Let's start the chronology of this zenith year back in February. She's at the Grammys, nominated in 6 major categories. The professional recognition is just laid out right at the start of the year.
That's right. And linking these events is so key because the personal integration started almost immediately. Like a week later, she's making headlines in New Orleans.
Not for music, though.
No, not for music. For supporting her soon-to-be fiancé, Travis Kelce, at the Super Bowl. And the media really keyed in on how she handled the attention. Shrugging off the boos from the crowd on the Jumbotron. It wasn't just her being there, it was a performance of integration, showing the world this relationship was now a core part of her public persona.
That is such a fantastic point. It set the tone for the whole year. So then we jump forward to May, which was huge for the business strategy. After 6 years, she finally successfully reacquired the masters for her first 6 albums.
And we should probably pause on that because reacquiring the masters is a critical business detail. It means she got control of the original sound recordings themselves. For an artist that big, owning your masters, that's owning your entire legacy, your intellectual property.
It impacts everything. Streaming, commercials, movies. And the source material really highlights how personal this was for her. She wrote this letter to fans saying she was bursting into tears of joy at random intervals because her entire life's work finally belonged to her. It wasn't just a legal win. It was a huge public statement about her own autonomy.
And that move toward total control just continued right into the summer. The transition from private celebrity to public couple was so perfectly paced. In June, she does a surprise performance at Kelce's charity concert in Nashville.
Shake It Off with Kane Brown.
Right. And that's not just a guest spot. That's linking her professional capital, her brand, directly to his philanthropic work.
Then came the official moment in July. On the 24th, Kelce uses his own massive platform, his Instagram, to post photos with her for the first time.
The captain and first mate hats.
It was a huge viral media moment, symbolizing they're navigating this journey together now.
And that careful buildup led right into the massive August announcements. First, on August 13th, she appears on the New Heights podcast. So she's controlling the narrative about the album, the masters, the relationship, and she's speaking directly to his core audience.
And then, not even 2 weeks later, August 26th, she drops the bomb, the engagement, calling themselves your English teacher and your gym teacher.
The branding there is just genius, taking these two hyper-elite global careers and framing them in the most simple, relatable American context you can imagine.
Exactly. So that August announcement locks in the personal story. And it sets the stage perfectly for the professional climax, her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, in October.
Which, according to the sources, was just a commercially dominant performance.
Dominant doesn't even cover it. The speed was wild. It became 2025's most streamed album in a single day, and it did that in under 11 hours. Over 4 million album equivalent units in the first week.
And for anyone not familiar, album equivalent units includes streaming. So she wasn't just selling physical albums, she was activating every single fan on every digital platform almost instantly.
Which brings us to the timing of that October release.
Which is crucial. First, it maximizes fourth quarter sales, the holiday spike. But second, and this is the strategic part, it guarantees she enters that December nexus with maximum awards season momentum.
And the lead track, The Fate of Ophelia, being inspired by Hamlet, just adds this layer of critical sophistication. It's not just pop.
Exactly. All these huge managed successes were designed to feed right into the celebration around her 36th birthday.
So this takes us to the real core of it. Strategic narrative closure, timed perfectly for the nexus. The Eras Tour physically ended in December 2024, but the narrative closure was held for December 2025. Why wait a whole year?
That is where the disciplined synchronization comes in. You can end a tour, sure, but the story is still open-ended. The 6-part docuseries, The End of an Era, it premieres on Disney Plus on December 12th.
The day before her 36th birthday.
The day before. This timing transforms this multi-billion-dollar tour into a finite, managed chapter in her story.
She even called the tour a seismic, momentous period of time. So the documentary's timing just formally closes that book right before she starts her new personal year. It's like a strategic cleanup.
And it was a brilliant business move. They didn't just release the retrospective doc. It debuted alongside Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, the final show.
Which captured the closing night from Vancouver.
Right, from December 2024. But crucially, it also included footage of songs from the Tortured Poets department.
So you're bundling the look back with the freshest content, making fans watch both to get the full updated picture. That is total narrative control.
And the influence of this professional IP runs so deep that it completely bleeds into her personal life. The media reports were all speculating that Kelce had planned this elaborate Eras Tour-themed birthday party for her.
Even the intimate celebration is structured around the framework of her job.
That deep integration is what makes this so effective.
Okay, so if the 2025 Nexus was for a controlled conclusion, we have to rewind 5 years to see how she first established this window as a tool for strategic surprise. Let's look at the Evermore precedent in 2020.
Yes. The Evermore release on December 11th, 2020 was just a classic high-impact example. It was a complete surprise album, the sister record, to Folklore, which had only dropped a few months earlier.
And the creative context was so interesting. She doubled down on the indie folk, alternative sounds.
Yeah.
But she was moving away from the purely autobiographical songwriting into more fictional narratives.
Right, these character studies exploring uneasy emotions, forbidden love.
And the commercial strategy behind that specific December 11th drop was, pure genius. It was pure artistic autonomy.
It was. Coming just 140 days after Folklore, that rapid rollout was something you saw in hip-hop, but it was almost unheard of in major pop. She just completely abandoned the long, expensive, traditional album rollout.
And it paid off immediately. She had a #1 album with Evermore and a #1 single with Willow at the same time. That double success meant she became the fastest female artist to get 6 #1 UK albums.
But here's the most telling detail about the power of the date itself. The sources all confirm she shared her planned December 11th release date with Paul McCartney,
who was going to release his album McCartney III on that same day.
On that very day. And he, out of respect, moved his album back to December 18th.
Wow. That's not just politeness. That's the industry recognizing her deliberate scheduling and the guaranteed market saturation that she commands on that date.
That 2020 launch cemented December 11th to the 13th as this media saturation window. It's a date where the rest of the industry basically steps aside.
So let's pivot for a second, because there's this other equally powerful facet of the Nexus, strategic philanthropy. This December period is established as a time of giving for her.
A key part of the narrative. And the giving is often geostrategic. It connects her to specific communities. Look at December 2024, right after her 35th birthday. She makes a $250,000 donation to Operation Breakthrough,
an educational center in Kansas City.
A simmer that Travis Kelce consistently supports. This geostrategic timing intentionally embeds her philanthropic profile into the community tied to her relationship. It broadens her sphere of influence beyond, say, Nashville or New York.
It's an incredibly effective PR move during the holidays. It sends a message of commitment, of shared values. I am invested in this new place associated with my partner.
Exactly.
And the impact is multiplied by her fans.
Yeah.
It's wild how even her lucky number and her cat's names become this reliable annual fan mobilization tool.
Yes, the Taylor Swift Challenge. It started around her 34th birthday. It prompts fans to donate $13 her lucky number to animal shelters in honor of her cats.
Meredith Grey, Olivia Benson, and Benjamin Button.
The birthday just becomes this annual call to action that she doesn't even have to announce herself. It multiplies her philanthropic impact through the global Swiftie network.
It's just the highest level of brand management, turning a birthday into a public utility for media and charity.
It really is.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, the December Nexus is confirmed across all our sources as this deliberate cultural anchor. It synthesizes the intensely personal, a 36th birthday, an engagement with the high-stakes professional like closing the biggest tour ever.
And we've seen two major strategically opposite uses of this window. Launching a total surprise album like Evermore in 2020, which shows radical artistic independence.
And then providing a definitive career closure, like the end of an era in 2025, showing total narrative control.
That dichotomy just reveals a profound level of long-term planning for both brand surprise and brand finality.
So since the Nexus has been used for both total artistic shock and total artistic retrospective, you have to wonder what's next. What kind of major high-impact pivot will she use the December 11th to 13th window for in the future?
Will she double down on music?
Yeah.
Maybe announce a tour for Showgirl? Or will she shift the narrative completely and use that highly visible window to confirm future personal plans?
Like that rumored June 13, 2026 half-birthday wedding date? I mean, that disciplined planning ensures her strategic narrative just never stops